Hello everyone, welcome back to another Taekook love story. This is going to be a surrogacy love story. Hope you enjoy it. 2 weeks ago, thanks POV, I stood silently in front of the coffin and my heart felt empty. I had just lost my only sibling, my big sister, Hana Kim. She was not only my sister, she was my best friend, my everything. Now she was gone, just like that. No, this can't be real. Tears rolled down my face as I covered it with my hands. My shoulders shook as I cried. The voice was in the background, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. They were lowering my sister into the ground, her final home. I couldn't take it anymore. I screamed out loud, drawing everyone's eyes to me. My legs moved on their own, and I but strong arms held me back. I found hard to free myself, but the grip was strong. Finally, I gave up and cried against the person's chest. When I looked up, it was Jungkook, my sister's husband. Jungkook, he didn't speak. He stared ahead like he couldn't feel anything anymore. I stepped away from him and looked around. My mother stood like a lifeless doll, leaning on Dad. She wasn't crying, she was just empty. She lost her favorite child. Sometimes I thought she loved Hannah more than me. I used to joke about it, but now it hurts. Damn, it should have been me. Yes, that's what I felt. I should be in that grave, not her. She died because of a careless drunk driver, and he survived. She didn't. Hannah had her seatbelt on, but the truck hit her side. It had been 2 weeks since she left. The poured sand into my hands and I dropped it onto the coffin. Then others started filling the grave. I stepped away, my legs weak. Damn, she is really gone. I put it in my earphones and played Only Time by the soft music made the pain stronger. I walked slowly to the car, got inside, and cried. I was still sobbing when I heard a knock on the window. It was Dad. I unlocked the door and he entered with Mom. We drove home in silence. There was still a few gates at the home, the grave. My parents said looks like I wasn't even there, like they wished I was the one who died. Maybe I wished that too. Hannah was perfect, kind, calm, smart. She ran her own small company and had a beautiful smile, and me, I was the wild one. I followed rules. Mom used to say I made too much trouble. I once heard her say, wished her she had only Hannah. After the gates left, Jungkook came over. He looked like someone who just fought a storm. Normally, he was always neat, proud CEO. His parents were super rich. His dad has passed some years ago, but his mother was always polite. When we met today, Jungkook looked like a different person. He needed a haircut, his hair was messy and long, his eyes were red, he looked completely lost. Even though we weren't close, I still felt bad for him. At least I had my parents. He was all alone. His family couldn't even return home in time for the funeral. He walked past me and straight into Dad's office. He hadn't even looked at me. Mom and Dad had already gone in there after the guests left. Maybe they couldn't face me. I went to my room and looked through old photos of me and Hannah, or should I say, late Hannah. Now, in every picture, she smiled with calm kindness in her eyes. I was always the silly one making faces. Taehyung, who will I talk to now? Who would listen to my south secrets? Who would I run to when mom and dad scolded me? Who would I laugh at my jokes? I was crying again when my phone rang. It was Dad. Why was he calling me? I answered, Dad, on call. Come to the study. Just then another call came in. It was my best friend. We would have been close for over a year now, but I didn't want to talk. I turned off my phone and left it on. I had always hated going there. The study was serious, scary. It was where Dad scolded me when I messed up. When I walked in, Dad sat behind the big table. Mom was on the couch nearby, and Jungkook sat across from Dad. There was an empty chair next to him. Dad pointed to the empty chair. I sat down, confused. Mom's eyes were full of emotion, hope, sadness, fear. What's going on? Why does it feel serious? Jungkook didn't move. He just stared into space. Then Dad cleared his throat. Dad, I called you here for something important. We all miss her death. It's painful, but before she passed, she has been trying for a child. Yes, I knew it, that she had been married for 6 years, but they didn't have kids yet. Dad, but the is still frozen in the hospital. I looked at him, shocked that we could wait and find another person to carry the child, but the process takes time, test, papers, approvals. So we wanted to ask you something. He paused, looking nervous. Dad, will you be the one to help carry Hannah's child? Just for 9 months, your mom and I will take care of the baby after. We wouldn't force you. You take time to think. My brain stopped working for a moment. Me carry my sister's baby. Dad, your mom can't do it. She is not young anymore, but you are healthy. We hate asking this of you, but you are our only hope. I was still thinking, still staring. My chest felt heavy. Then I looked at Jungkook. He hasn't said a word. Still lots in pain. I took a deep breath and I'll do it. Dad blinked. Mom gasped. Even Jungkook turned to look at me. I said, I'll do it for Hannah, anything for her. My parents stared at me with shock and something like hope. Jungkook looked at me too, but his eyes were unreadable. Maybe, just maybe, we weren't as different as I thought. Maybe we were both broken pieces of same person we lost. Present day, thanks be over. I sat in the hospital waiting room. The day I began a journey I never imagined. The day I will try to bring my sister's baby into the world. I don't know if I am ready, but I have made up my mind. No matter what happens, I will do this. I had passed all the tests. The doctor said I was healthy enough to carry this baby to the end. The journey wouldn't be easy. I know that. I am giving a whole year of my life to this, but 1 year is nothing if it means my sister's child will live. I looked beside me. Jungkook said quietly he had insisted on coming with me. Even when I said I wanted to go alone, he simply said, Jungkook, the child is mine too. Please let me come. I didn't want to argue. I was tired. If he wanted to sit with me, then fine. After a while, the doctor came and called my name. We both stood up and I followed him in. The procedure was short. The was placed inside me, and just like that, we were done. We went home quietly. As we entered the house, I heard my parents arguing in the living room. But the moment they saw me, they went silent. Mom rushed over me. Mom, Taekook, how did it go? Are you okay? Did everything go well? She led me to the couch and made me sit. It went well. The doctor said I just need to rest for the next 48 hours. That's when the will fully attached. We just have to wait and pray it works. Ever since I agreed to carry the baby, Mom has been kind, but only when it comes to the pregnancy. Not once did she ask how I am really feeling or how I have handled losing my sister, but that's nothing new. I have always been the second choice in the family. I am the troublemaker, the disappointment. They have made that clear many times. I went up to my room. I needed to talk to my friend. We haven't spoken since on our death. I called him. He picked up right away. Hello. Night, finally, I missed you so much. I'm really sorry about your sister. I hope you're doing okay. Do you want to meet today? His voice was cheerful. I could tell he was happy to hear from me. My chest felt heavy. I had something important to say to him. Can we meet at our usual restaurant today around 6 p.m.? No, of course. Dinner date? Yes, dinner. I dressed simply. Jeans, a light off-shoulder shirt, flats. As I came down the stairs, I saw Mom in the kitchen. She was drinking again her half-finished wine bottle. Beside her, she had been like this since on a diet. Mom, I'm going out for a while. She didn't even look up. I took her car keys from the table and left. I had always asked them for a car for my own. They refused, said I was too careless, but Hannah got her own car at 18. I reached the restaurant earlier. Gave me a funny look. No, no soda, no juice. That's not like you. I am just not feeling great. He probably thought it was the sadness from losing my sister. He didn't know the real reason. After we ate, I offered to pay. He was surprised, but I insisted. Then I took a deep breath. It was time. Now you have always been kind, patient, and sweet to me. I'm thankful for everything. He smiled. But we had to stop seeing each other. His smile faded. What? Why? Is this because of Anna? If you need time, I'll wait. Understand, but you don't do this. It's not just because that I'm doing something that will change everything. I can't ask you to accept it. I'm going to carry a child. You what? I agreed to be the one to carry the child. The doctor said it's impossible. It's possible, and in a few weeks I might be pregnant. He looks out, hurt, quite down. I'm sorry, Nai. This is hard for me too, but I don't want to ask you to stay and suffer. I care about you, but this isn't something you should have to go through. I saw the pain in his eyes, but I knew this was the right thing to do. I wish things were different, but this is goodbye. I stood up and left before changing my mind. Outside, I took a deep breath. I had been there, sweet and simple. He had dreams and a bright future. He was only 3 years older than me. I was 21. We were enough to make him give up his dream for something that wasn't his. I got into the car and drove home, back to the house that never felt like home, to parents who forget I exist. In their eyes, only Hannah mattered. Maybe I was just the one carrying her baby now, like a stranger doing them a favor. I used to dream of going to college and finally being free, but now I am here, living a different story, a harder one still. This is for you, Hannah. Everything for you. Jungkook's POV. I sat in the study inside. I sat in my study inside the big silent house. My fingers loosely held the glass of juice. Not now warm. The room was clean, expensive, peaceful, but my heart was heavy. I was thinking about Hannah, my wife. She was kind, smart, gentle, but she was never someone I loved. We were not in love. Our marriage had been arranged by our families. It was for business, for tradition, for status, not for feelings. We didn't choose each other, but we respected each other. She was more like a friend, a quiet, polite friend who lived in the same house as me. We ate meals together, talked sometimes, shared responsibilities, but we lived in separate rooms. We never crossed the lines. There was no love, no romance, no physical. Last year, our families began asking about a baby. Even though we had no personal bond, we were eh, expected to have a child that would continue the family name. We didn't want to raise a child that traditional way because it wouldn't be right. So Hannah came up with the idea of surrogacy. She told me with the hopeful smile, Hannah, it's not for me, Jungkook, it's for our families. They expected something, let's just do this and give them what they want. I wasn't sure, but I nodded because that's the kind of person Hannah was, quiet but brave, practical, always thinking of others before herself. We began to process. It was long, tiring, and full of medical mistakes. Finding a surrogate was the hardest part, and then just when we thought it was finally happening, everything fell apart. The day was ready. I was at work. I had planned to drive Hannah and the children surrogate to the hospital, but the meeting delayed me. I told her to go ahead and promised to meet her there. I should have told her to wait. She left with the surrogate. While I was on my way, my phone rang. It was the police. They said I was the last number on her phone. There had been a car crash. I rushed to the hospital. I saw the damaged car. The police explained that both Hannah and the woman with her had died at the scene. It was like my whole body shut down. My mind went black. Even if we weren't in love, Hannah was still important to me. She was a good person. She didn't deserve that ending. At her funeral, I didn't cry, not because I didn't care, but because I had no more tears left. Inside me was only silence, a deep, cold emptiness. That day, her younger brother Taekook broke down at that grave. He cried loudly and tried to jump. A moment of peace, he pulled away quickly. Once he realized it was me, and the emptiness returned. Worse than before. Later that day, I was called to the Kim family's house. Mr. and Mrs. Kim wanted to talk. They brought up the frozen. Hannah's parents wanted to move forward. They said the child would be their way of keeping Hannah close. I understood. Even though Hannah and I wasn't a real couple, the baby would still be part of me. That part of her and part of her. The problem was we had no surrogate anymore. Finding anyone would take months. Then Mrs. Kim mentioned something that shocked me. Mrs. Kim, what about Taekook? I stared at her. Mr. Kim, he is healthy, not in his school right now, and they called him in when they entered. He looked nervous, afraid. His parents explained everything. I couldn't even look at him. I hoped he would say no. I didn't want him to be pressured, but instead he said, "Thing I'll do." I looked at him in shock. "Thing I'll do it for Hannah." The next few weeks passed quickly. I didn't go back to work. I stayed home, quiet and alone. They told me Thing had passed all the tests. The doctor picked a date for the when the day came. His parents told me he wanted to go alone, but I still went. The child is mine too. I have every right to be there, and I know Thing will need support. I sat beside him in the hospital waiting room. He didn't speak. I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. The doctor called him in a while later. Couldn't stop thinking, Jungkook, if only Hannah had lived to see this. Her final wish was just to bring a child into the world. Now she never will. I want to raise the child on my own. I don't want to pass that duty to Hannah's parents. I want to be there for the first step and first smile, the first word. I don't know how I'll do it alone, but I have to try. That night I stayed at the wall. Everything was still. My thoughts were loud. I stood up and knocked over the bottle beside me. It sat on the floor. The sound was stopped. I look at the pieces on the ground. They remind me of myself, broken just like this. I sat beside the glass, and for one strange moment I picked up a small soft piece and lightly my wrist. It wasn't deep, it wasn't dangerous, but it hurt, and that hurt reminded me that I was still alive. I was still alive. I cleaned the small cut, took a long shower, the first in many days, and lie down on my bed. Sleep finally came. Not peaceful sleep, but sleep full of dreams, and that scared me. But dreams I didn't fight, because maybe, just maybe, it's time I should stop running from what I feel to continue. So everyone, don't be worried. There is not going to be any skinship other than Taekook, and this is not going to be all sad thing. Hope you will enjoy it. How was it? Comment it down. Bye.